We've all heard about rewiring the brain, right? Mindset work, affirmations, meditation, all designed to reprogram your thoughts. But this is the thing I've been thinking about. I think we've missed a step, and it's a really important one. Because if your body doesn't feel safe, your brain can't actually rewire. So that's where the nervous system comes in. And it's been something that I've been thinking about quite a bit. And I was thinking about how does the nervous system relate to the mindset, and it's what I'm teaching, saying that it was all done via the nervous system. And I think that maybe that's how it's come across, and it's not how I've meant it to come across. Because you don't only fix yourself via the nervous system. To me, that the mindset work and the nervous system work aren't separate, they're layered. So you can't have one without the other. So you can make yourself feel safe, great, I feel safe, but that's not going to reprogram your brain. And you can reprogram your brain, but that might not stick because your nervous system doesn't feel safe. And so when we layer those two together, then we give the biggest impact. And so, for a long time, I think when you look at personal growth out there, everybody talks all about mindset work, all about change your thoughts, change your life. It's all about just change what's going on in your mind. But if those new thoughts actually dysregulate your nervous system, then is it going to stick in the brain? Because obviously the reason this change your thought, change your life thing is really stuck in recent years is because when we discovered that neuroplasticity exists, that we can actually reprogram the brain. So now we know we can. Oh, sun's coming out. And so all the focus has been on how can we rewire our brain? What do we do? How do we change it? On all the steps that we go through. But often you notice that with mindset work, they don't talk about the nervous system. They don't talk about how does that feel in your body? How does that feel like it sits with you? Because if what you're saying, if your mindset work doesn't actually feel true to the body and doesn't feel safe, then is it actually going to stick? And I was thinking, it's just not going to stick, because that is it's like the big kind of fundamental to it. And so this is how I have kind of thought about how we can work it so that the neuroplasticity work, the mindset work, the changing your thoughts can have the biggest impact. And that is when you're doing that mindset work, you're doing, say, an affirmation, tune into how your body feels. So does my body feel safe? Now, anything that's new is going to feel unsafe to the body. So if you're trying to change that thought pattern, initially that's going to feel unsafe to the body. So actually, what you need to be doing while saying those affirmations is regulating the body as well, telling the body, I'm safe thinking this. These two things are safe together. And then once you get the body on board, then it's much easier to then go on and rewire the thinking patterns. And the other thing I want to say is it works kind of the other way around as well. So when your nervous system is dysregulated, okay, so we feel fear, or we feel like we meet someone, we feel something's off. What happens, or we're in a situation, we feel like something's off and our system dysregulates and the body sends that message up to the brain. What the body doesn't send to the brain is the reason why it's dysregulated. And so the brain interprets that. So as we do more of the mindset, personal development work, and we're regulating our nervous system, we can feed it in the other way as well. So when we start to feel this dysregulation, and we don't really know why, but the brain starts making up a story around why, we can actually catch that in the moment. So if that's something that we want to change and we start to tell ourselves the old story, we can switch it and start to change it to a new story and regulate at the same time. So you're kind of working on two levels. So you listen to the body, and when that body sends the cue to the brain, you consciously think about what that may be and you take control that way. But also when we want to change the thoughts in the brain, as we're doing the work to change the thoughts, we're regulating the system as well to make sure the system is safe with those new thoughts coming in. So for me, I've been doing a lot of work around resting, slowing down, not being on the go, go, go all the time, and feeling safe to switch off. Okay, because this is a big thing for me. So I want to do stuff all the time, and doing nothing to me is it's a big fear. But mentally, so if I'm talking about this mentally, from a mental perspective, I feel like I'm being lazy, like I'm not doing enough, like I should be doing more, and I'm wasting my time when I'm resting. So that's what's happening mentally for me. But physically, so in my nervous system, I may be exhibiting fear. So my nervous system, when I start to rest and relax and take that time off, kind of goes into fight or flight mode. So it's actually so my nervous system, creating that anxiety around rest, is actually giving me another form of doing while I'm resting. So although my mind is saying, it's great, I'm going to rest, this is fantastic. So intellectually, I know exactly that I'm doing the right thing. My body's like, nah, I'm not having any of this. So let's just do something now. So let's get this adrenaline going and let's pump it up and let's get the brain whirring. And now you can think about all the things that have been worrying you for the last week. And then we can go over them and over them and over them and over them. Because your brain now clicks in because the body's anxious. So the brain starts trying to find the reason why your body's anxious. Why my body's anxious. So for me to be able to rest properly, it involves connecting with my body. Okay, does my body feel safe when I'm resting? And if the answer is no, then I need to regulate my body, regulate my nervous system to feed up to my brain. And when my brain says resting is positive for this reason and for this reason and for this reason, and then when I'm resting, my body feels safe, it's like a two-way street. So we're confirming it in both ways. My body's confirming it one way, my brain is confirming it another way. And then, do you know what? It sits much quicker, because if I'm not fighting, my body's not fighting my brain and my brain's not fighting my body, they're working together. So when we talk about rewiring the brain, we are rewiring the neural pathways in the brain, but that actually involves rewiring or reprogramming the nervous system and toning up the vagus nerve so it feels safer when we're doing what we do. And remembering that they don't work in isolation, and no system in the body works in isolation. And if one is dysregulated and the other one's doing this over here, oh yes, this is like, I feel really, this is the right thing to be doing. And then the dysregulation is going, I'm dysregulated. So the brain goes, maybe I'll think about this because this might be why I'm dysregulated. So your brain is now trying to find the answer. If you bring consciousness to the body and you say to the brain, no, the reason I'm feeling like this is because rest, which I know is good for me, feels off. It feels wrong for me because this is not safe for me. So now I need to make rest safe for the mindset work around rest is sick. And that's what I'm working on at the moment. So for me, neuroplasticity and nervous system work go hand in hand. They're like partners. And the body sets the foundation and the brain builds the structure. So when you work with both, change just doesn't happen in your head, it lives in your body, and it has the biggest impact. And that's what I'm playing around with now, and that's what I'm working with, and that's how I'm seeing the biggest shifts in my life that I've ever seen, because I'm combining the two. And I think it's absolutely vital. I don't think you can do them in isolation. So if you are doing a lot of mindset work and thinking, why is this not sticking? Like, why is it not working for me? Maybe it's just because your body doesn't feel safe enough yet, and you need to bring the nervous system regulation in with it, because that's when the real transformation begins. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you got some value out of it. If you have, remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you can get some more bits and pieces from me. And if you'd like to work more deeply with me, I'd love to invite you into my free group, The Sacred Pause. And the link is below in the description. And yeah, I'd love to see you there.